Hello and welcome to Bolt Action Reloading. In today's video we're going to be talking about the 147 grain ELD match by Hornady along with Reloder 17. Stick around. Welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here and you'd like to see how I and the rest of the community here make our group smaller, start now by subscribing to the channel and hitting the bell icon. That way you get notified when I post new videos and you won't miss anything. Like I mentioned at the beginning, today we're going to be talking about the Hornady 147 grain ELD-M reloaded alongside Alliant Reloder 17. And if you guys are real fans of the channel, you'll know that we've actually tried this combination before, with one minor exception. Last time we were actually still using the Fed 210M primers, and since then I've switched most of my reloading to these CCI 250s. Right, wrong, or indifferent, I know it's caused some questions here on the channel, but like I've said several times in the comments, typically I've been able to see some better standard deviations when I've used the Magnum primers in my load development. Another interesting thing about our load development today is, just so you know guys, we're starting off above maximum. Hornady's technical maximum for this load is 40.1 grains of Reloder 17 behind this 147 grain projectile. Be aware, we've done some load development up to this point to know that we're safe in our rifle and we're only going to be pushing the envelope slightly further than we pushed it last time. Please don't take my word for it that these loads are safe. You need to test them up in your own rifle. So that safety session aside, let's just get right into our load data. Like I said, today's projectile is a 147 grain ELD match by Hornady, part number 26333. In case you're interested, the G1 ballistic coefficient on this is 0.697, G7 at 0.351. This is certainly one of the best ballistic coefficients, certainly for the dollar that you can get for this projectile, and one of the top performers I've had so far in 6.5 Creedmoor. Like I said, the primer for today is the CCI 250 Large Rifle Magnum Primer. Today we're going back to Hornady Brass. As far as the number of loadings on this brass, we're somewhere probably around number 7 or 8 at this point. This is one of my earlier lots of brass where I wasn't keeping as good of a lot count on it as I probably should have been. I do know that this is one consistent lot of brass, and that's what we're using today. That aside, Alliant Reloder 17 is what we're using, and we're actually starting at 40.6 grains and going all the way to 41.8 grains today. And just for reference, if you guys are interested, I'll put a quick card up so you guys can go check out one of my previous videos where we basically used the 143 grain load data that was provided by Hornady for the Reloder 17 numbers for this particular projectile. Under our previous testing, we only went up to 41.3 grains with our average velocity hitting 2715. In case you guys are wondering how we got to 41.8 grains today, this is based essentially on, number one, we've tested this load all the way to 41.3 grains before, so 41.8 isn't exactly a huge stretch from that range, and we have a couple steps in between, as well as Sierra actually lists 41.8 grains as the max for their 150 grain Sierra Match King, which, like I said before, we've actually had some pretty good matchup with estimated velocities from that data, as well as the actual velocities we've got from our rifle. But that being said, it's your own responsibility to load responsibly for your rifle. Moving right into our data then, at 40.6 grains, our estimated velocity was 2675 feet per second. Our actual achieved velocity was 2656. Our standard deviation was 21.9, extreme spread of 55, and a 1.032 MOA group. At 40.9 grains, our estimated velocity was 2694, actual achieved velocity was only 2672, standard deviation of 16.4, extreme spread of 39, and a 0.891 MOA group. At 41.2 grains, our estimated velocity was 2713, actual achieved velocity was 2700 feet per second, standard deviation was our best of the day at 10.9, extreme spread of 26, and a 1.224 MOA group. Nice to see those 3 shots touching in that group, however, still 5-shot group being 1.224 MOA. Stepping it up to 41.5 grains, our estimated velocity went to 2731, our actual achieved velocity was 2721, standard deviation of 19.2, extreme spread of 46, and a slight group size reduction down to 0.876 MOA. At 41.8 grains, our estimated velocity was 2750, our actual achieved velocity was 2744, standard deviation of 19.9, extreme spread of 56, and a 0.942 MOA group. Well guys, I don't know what to say other than pretty unimpressive, at least as far as statistics are concerned. Our best group of the day being 0.876 MOA certainly didn't make us feel a whole lot better. Best standard deviation of 10.9, unfortunately, with that extreme spread of being 26. Seeing an extreme spread of 56 right on that top end certainly didn't make me interested in anything that we actually found today. That being said, in case you guys are interested and concerned about pressure signs, I'll put a quick shot of brass on the screen so you guys can see it. If you watched the last video, you'll see I certainly don't think it was any different than it was before. No real pressure that concerns me in any way, shape, or form. Really didn't get any ejector markets. No marks on the primers. not overly flattened. So like I said before, I really don't think we're at the limit of pressure, but really, again, uncertain why I would want to go up any further at this point. We actually saw some better standard deviations in our previous testing with this powder, and maybe that had a little bit to do with brass life. Like I mentioned, there is several firings on this. But like I mentioned, today's load testing was actually with the CCI 250. Maybe that had something to do with it. We were using the 210Ms before. Maybe Reloder 17 really likes the 210Ms much better than the CCI 250s. I really haven't run a specific primer test on Reloder 17. Who's to say that that might not drastically prefer the 210M versus the 250? But that's another test for another day. That's how our load data shook out today. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video and found it informative. If you have any comments or questions, please post those in the comments section below. If you like the content and you're not subscribed to the channel yet, please consider subscribing to the channel, hitting that bell icon. And until next week, stay safe in small groups.